Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Good morning.
I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky.
You are too.
We had the opportunity to volunteer at the amazing race yesterday.
It was a race that was amazing.
It was. It was so fun. We happened to...
We worked at the zero-turn lawnmower section.
Why do they call it zero turn?
Because they have a 0-degree turn radius.
Oh.
They can turn on a dime.
Okay. In other words, it was lawnmower racing, pretty much.
Yeah, and it was sit on it, steer it.
It was the
these
kind...
weird levers.
Yeah, it was the kind that had the two different levers, and when you push one and pull one, you turn one way, and if you push and pull the other, you go the other way. If you push both of them, you go forward.
You pull back.
If you pull them both apart, then you stop, and there's like an emergency cutoff, and it was very dangerous at times. And then at the same time, there were times when I thought, okay, this could speed along a little bit. Like this is a little slow paced.
Yeah,
it was very bizarre.
It was. And a lot of people, most people had not had the experience of being on one.
In fact, I would say probably 90% of the people, as they were coming through, I'd be like, have you ever been on a lawnmower before? I was on the microphone. And of course, most of them...
What's a lawnmower?
...would say, no, never. Which is a change in the times,
yeah,
right?
It's very different from the 80s where you mowed your own yard. Most people, I think.
Yes.
Like I would say 70 to 80% or 90% of the people in the 80s or mowed their own yard or had the neighborhood kid do it. Boy or girl. Don't want to discriminate.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I remember sitting on that lawnmower when I was little.
Oh, I didn't sit on one, but I pushed one.
You did? Oh, yeah. No, we had a riding lawnmower.
Well, you're from an area that had more land and acreage to mow, where I had just smaller yards to grow.
However, it was more of my sister's job that one summer. My parents discouraged it from me.
You don't
because
want to be the
you know
yard
what?
girl.
Because my mom and I were out walking, and we actually saw my neighbor. He was mowing his lawn. He had a push mower, and he had a seizure, and his false teeth went through the lawnmower, and they got chopped up and went through the lawnmower, and his arm almost got cut off.
Oh my.
And my mom had to move the mower and call 911. I remember that. I was a little girl when that happened.
That'll keep you away from lawnmowers.
I know. And so there was like a danger factor. At any rate, the point of our podcast today is that we noticed something as we were volunteering at this lawnmower race.
Over and over and over again.
Because as the racers were coming in, now this was a race. It was the amazing race. And they would go from one obstacle challenge to the next.
Yeah, there were 19 challenges.
So when they were getting the directions of how to use the lawnmower, and when they were getting directions of how the obstacle course worked, the ones that were in that frenetic energy of, oh my gosh, we got to hurry.
We're racing.
The ones who had frenetic energy, the directions went in one ear and out the other. And as soon as they...
with their motor skills.
And as soon as they got on that lawnmower, guess what would happen?
Chaos.
It was chaos. And it was like they didn't hear anything that was being told to them, and they would almost create more chaos by running over the cones and then causing an extra delay.
There was complete lack of control, because what would happen is the mower would start turning, then they would overcorrect and then start spinning. And I saw so many people literally just throw their hands up in the air and almost quit. But the lawnmower doesn't quit when you let go. You have to pull the levers apart and open it up to do the emergency stop.
It was almost like they were manifesting exactly what they didn't want.
Yes.
Chaos. Because they were in the wrong energy. They were bringing panic and worry, anxiety. They were more focused on what their opponents were doing.
Yeah, they were racing against their opponents.
Than what they were doing. They were more focused on time than what they were doing. They were more focused on their external worlds than their internal worlds.
Oh, that's so good. Because if they had just kept that internal pace, like the pace within, like it's on. There's a book called Sacred Pace.
Yes.
And that kind of talks about, don't worry about where everybody else is, because if you keep your sacred pace, you're going to be able to outlast and just keep going. You don't ever have that burnout. You don't ever have that frenetic, oh my gosh.
Now, here's what I witnessed and I observed, because like I said, I was over by the speaker and I was in charge of the music, or Jason and I were in charge of the music, and I was adding my own little
You were MC.
colorful commentary as people would run by, which was quite flavorful, I must say. What I witnessed is that as the racers would come in, there was a point where the majority of the racers, the mid-pack, let's just call them the mid-pack, where
like that bell curve, where this is the majority of people have now gathered and they're waiting their turns.
Yes, where there actually was a line of waiting for the mowers. Okay, so the racers had to kind of slow down a little bit. They couldn't, there was nothing more they could do except for wait.
Yeah, there's 400 racers,
Three
mowers.
lawnmowers. So there was a point where all, like 80% of the racers were in that middle section.
Yeah, and we're at obstacle or challenge 19. So the racers have had time to spread out. However, now we've kind of condensed the pack again because we're getting to the end and there's a big cookout at the end.
Yes.
Because it's a fundraiser.
So there's that mid-pack where the majority of the racers are. And so the line started to accumulate where people had to wait for the actual mowers. Now, what I noticed is that when they had no choice but to get in line and wait, they had the chance to slow down, be still, kind of calm down a little bit, kind of observe and watch other people. And it actually benefited them by slowing down, because it's almost like they took a deep breath.
It gave them a moment of learning.
They're a little bit of a learning curve.
It's that whole going back to success leaves breadcrumbs. And there's a little twist on that. Because sometimes success leaves breadcrumbs where we're watching someone else do, but we haven't actually had the action or the doing to experience it. So once we get into that experience, then sometimes we can build that frenetic energy up because it's like, this is different than I thought it was going to be. And now we're not following the directions because we're like, oh, I've got this.
Yes.
I understand it intellectually. I don't understand it completely physically and all the other realms of it. So it was beautiful watching that, where it's like they've slowed down a little bit. Now they've got it. Now they're going to jump on the mower. And then some people held on to it and went at their pace. And some people said, I've got to race against the other guy, and the other person looks like they're going faster. So now I'm going to panic a little.
It was a life lesson in itself. And I just feel so blessed because these mowers were provided by Cobb Mower, and Nan Cobb, who is running for commissioner. She was such a hoot to just hang out with. And I felt so lucky. I felt so lucky to just spend the day outside meeting all of these people and watching the entertainment of this. So it's the Amazing Race in downtown Eustis. And our friend Tim Totten, who also puts on the TEDx event over there, He has been doing this for the last 10 years. Unfortunately, or fortunately, this is his last year of putting this together, but it's been such a successful event.
It's his last year. There hasn't been a determination of whether it's the last year of the Amazing Race.
No, it will continue.
Okay.
Next year, the city is going to take it over.
Oh, wow.
It's been such a success. And I also wanted to convey that other cities around America have actually taken Tim's template of how he does this because it incorporates different businesses in the community. It gets people out. It gets people having fun.
It's innovation. It's teamwork. It's community. It's collaboration. It's all the beautiful things for coming together and celebrating the city.
It's exercise, but mostly it's fun. It's just
it was
fun.
So fun.
It's fun and fellowship.
I mean, when you can get to obstacle or challenge number 19 and there are so many smiles left.
Yeah. Every single person that walked through, I said, "Are you having fun?" And every single person said, "I'm having a blast. I am having so much fun.
Best day of the year.
This is great. This is
crazy.
Awesome." And every person, I would say, "Well, what's been your favorite challenge yet?" Every single person said something different, which I found so
That's great.
interesting. Nobody said the same thing. So that was awesome. Awesome. But the lesson from observing the lawnmower races
And the whole race in general is
is to set your own pace. Set your own life pace. And when you bring frenetic energy to something, guess what you're going to create?
chaos. So when you have that feeling of chaos or
when you
frenetic,
bring panic, anxiety, worry, stress, you're only going to create more of it because it's your spiritual curriculum. The universe says, ooh, they are feeling that. They must love it. They must want more. Let's give them more so that they have more challenges to overcome.
So just slow down a little bit, go back, get back on your own pace, and just grow through it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, the amazing race was so amazing. Have a great day, guys.
Keep living lucky.
Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.